Hi, my name is Vincent LaBarbera. Welcome to our podcast, Mulberry Street Memories, growing up in Little Italy during the 40s, 50s, and 60s. This is one of the most famous place streets in New York City, Mulberry Street, between Prince Street and Houston Street. We are broadcasting from St. Patrick's Rectory, located at 263 Mulberry Street. It is across the street from Old St. Patrick's Church, now a basilica. I will be joined by Monsignor Donald Sukarno, who was at St. Patrick's Church. The two of us contributed to the book Meatballs and Stickball, edited by our good friend Richard Ronaldo. Hi, this is Vincent LaBarbera. Welcome to Mulberry Street Memories, Episode 5. A lot of people have been asking me, summertime. It's summertime now in the city, and they would like to know, when you were younger, what was your enjoyment? What did you enjoy doing? Where did you go since you were teenagers and you wanted to have a good time? Well, my memory is that a lot of places we used to go. First of all, the place that we always wanted to go all summer was to Coney Island. I think Coney Island was a place that everybody couldn't wait to go, and we used to go to the largest pool there called Raven Hall. Now, Raven Hall was an enormous complex, and it was a wonderful place to be, and there were people there that had lockers, and you were fortunate to see. And one of the things is we all used to group in, and a lot of neighborhood people, the guys and the girls. We were 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, whatever. And we used to see from year to year all the women, the young girls, in their bathing suits. And we used to marvel and say, oh, my God, look at this one. And look at that. They all got developed. They slowly but surely. And that was like a point, because in bathing suits, that was a big thing. And there was a couple of beautiful girls, in bathing suits. And that really, older people, there were just one better than the other. But what I like about Raven Hall was, besides all of us going there and meeting there, taking the D train on Kenmare Street, I think it was, and we couldn't wait to get to Coney Island. Many times, we used to get in for free, and it was because of Charlie Sayer. Charlie Sayer was a guy in the neighborhood, always tan. His son Charles played sports with us, still around, and he used to, for some reason, get us all for free. He had a connection there, and he had the biggest locker I've ever seen, ever, in Raven Hall. And we used to go and say, Charlie Sayer said it's okay. Yeah, it's okay, and about 10, 15 of us used to go. And this carried on for years. It was just a great thing that he did for us, but we couldn't wait to go, and we stayed there for the entire day. We used to get there about 12 and stay there until about 4 or 5 o'clock, go home. And that was one of the things we enjoyed doing, at the beach. If you couldn't afford Raven Hall, you went to Coney Island. Bay 12 was a place that I remember. It was right near Raven Hall. And then there was the Washington Baths, was another place with a pool. And then there was the steeplechase, and there was so many other things. In fact, there was a movie the other day I just saw. I loved it, okay, and it reminded me so much of us growing up. It was called The Little Fugitive, with Richie Andrusco. It is about a kid that his brother, and the brother, he thinks that he murdered his brother. They played a prank on him, and he winds up at Coney Island running around. And it was such an unbelievable. It was in film, and it was a new wave of. It was nominated for a couple of Academy Awards because of its, it was an authentic type, movie that the French loved. There was no stars, no named people, just people from there were none actors in the entire film. And it was 1953, Richie Andrusco. In fact, They had an article about him. He's 80 years old now, and he was a cute little kid, and it was an adorable movie. But anyway, getting back to Ravenhall, that was our day. We couldn't wait to go. It was a full day, but we did other things that night. I remember, don't forget, we were at that time, first of all, we all liked girls at an early age. It's amazing how young.
Eddie,
Yes.
Just
Sure, John.
okay. Ravenhall. You talked about Charlie and how big his locker was.
Right.
Well, I had part of a locker in Ravenhall. I was one of 3, and it was the smallest one you could ever get. And what it cost was, for the whole season, was $18. So it's $6 each for the 3 of us.
Wow. My God. So you had the smallest one. He had the biggest
and
one.
there were a lot of beautiful women, but I won't say any more than there was one that was spectacular.
Well, she was the Sophia Loren of our neighborhood.
Right.
Baked, golden tan, and she was absolutely breathtaking. Now, I got to tell you something. And we couldn't wait to see her walk around in a bathing suit because she was baked. I tell you, tan as tan can be, and a pretty face. Oh, we still couldn't wait to look at her. She was quite older than us, but she was a beautiful, beautiful looking person, especially with the tan. And what could I tell you? There was another guy, actually, the guy that was, there was another guy from the Fort Ward. He was also tan. He was handsome. He looked like an actor, like, in the category of one of the young actors in Hollywood, like James Darren, all tan. And he was a good-looking guy. His name was Cookie. And I'll never forget, everybody used to see him, handsome as hell. And the two, they never hooked up. There was just 2 different parts. This lady was from, a young girl at the time, she was from our neighborhood, and Cookie was from the Fort Ward. And I got to tell you, I'll tell you his last name because he was such a handsome guy, Cookie Lobianco. Would you believe it? That's it. And I know he had a sister named Joni Lobianco. A nice girl also. But that was great memories of what. And we used to mingle with a lot of the people from Brooklyn, too, because, it was Brooklyn. And we met a lot of nice people, and it was a great memory because, we just enjoyed ourselves. Another thing we used to do, look, we didn't have much money. So a date would be maybe walking on the Williamsburg Bridge, okay, at night with your girlfriend, 13, 14 years old, and holding hands, whatever you were doing. We used to take long walks there and maybe go to Ratner's then later for scrambled eggs if you have a few bucks and you're lucky enough. And another thing, John, we used to go on the South Ferry for free.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
The rides to the South Ferry. I mean, that was, then you really had privacy there because that was a thing that for free we used to go. And some of us had bikes. We used to take them far. And we all had little bikes. And we used to go down Broadway with the bikes. But South Ferry was a beautiful place to go. And then many of the people in the neighborhood used to love to see at night with the fire hydrants, okay? And they used to have a can, and they used to open up the fire hydrants, and some of them, the can used to go about 3 stories high, 4 stories high, and they knew how. The older guys knew how to work the fire hydrant, and the police never bothered us. The cops never bothered us, and you were lucky you get a free car wash in the middle of the night, and it started late, and we couldn't wait to see them do it because it was a fun thing to do. And look, that was our life growing up. I mean, then we went to Chinatown, the Penny Arcade. I mean, and then I remember the Penny Arcade. Chinatown was interesting because for luncheon, 50 cents will get you wonton soup, and fried rice. Or you get chicken chow mein and egg drop soup, either choices. and for 50 cents you were in heaven. So if you treated the girl for $1, you had nice, this was very nice when you were a teenager, okay, just starting out, meeting the girls. And all of us, don't ask me why, okay, that we like girls at such an early age, because that was our world. We used to like to look at the girls, and some of them were, you could see, they were pretty, and we would like to just say hello to them and meet with them. And a lot of young people married people from the neighborhood. So years later, so John, that was a fun thing.
How about Leroy Street?
Leroy Street was another one.
That was
Leroy Park.
Yeah, they're right. They had a pool.
Carmine Street Pool.
Yeah, and it was the New York City was were theirs, but it was cheap to get.
Yeah, we used to go to the pool over there.
Yeah, pool. Right.
Yeah, and I remember later, John, you're right. And then we used to hang out. We used to go for that hamburger and a piece of watermelon for what, a quarter or something?
Not even.
Not even. And I think it was horse meat, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, it was.
Oh, God.
It was, because remember, I don't know if you remember, a lot of you put mustard on it rather than.
Yeah, that's right.
Thing. And it was.
It was horse meat.
Yeah, they had a sign up.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. But we had that a few times. We didn't care about the thing. We just went. It was so good.
I think it was 12 cents.
Yeah, it had to be. It had to be very, very cheap. And then a couple of people I remember from the neighborhood, they met girls from there, Carmine Street Pool, and they went out with them for a while. That was a big thing, too, going out with the girls from the West Side. Usually you were going out with local girls from Little Italy, but when you went to the West Side, then you started to see, other girls, and there were a lot of pretty girls, and we started to mingle with all of them, and it was a nice thing, back and forth, and I think that's one of the joys that we had, and summers went. And it was gone, and of course there were Tar Beach. Everybody, a lot of the people used to sunbathe on the roof all the time on Tar Beach to get a tan, and this is how we made our happiness. And then we played all kinds of games, and it made the day go by. But we lived in this one world of our own, and I guess at this point. It turned out that, these are games that fascinate people, but we lived through all those little games and all these crazy things that we did, but we were no saints. Nobody was a saint. We all did crazy things and, and fun things. And thank God, I don't know, I don't know, John, I moved out, I was almost 24 years old. My family moved to Queens. Lefrak City. I really didn't want to go, but they said it's a better place. And my mother wanted to live near her twin sister that wasn't far away, and I was very upset about that. I didn't like that at all, because I didn't want to leave the neighborhood like we should have. But I don't know about you, John. You at what age, John, was it?
Well, I didn't move out
until
I got married.
Right, I see.
And I lived at 285 Mott Street, my life before that.
Right.
And I moved up to 18th Street, Stuyvesant Town.
Yeah.
Yep. And I had a 2-bedroom apartment, which was like heaven, because we lived in a 3-room apartment for a long time. But with all of that, you think about what we had, all the things you talked about, and we really didn't miss a lot. If anything, we discovered more, and especially we're in Manhattan, and there was so much that you could do, that without a lot of money. And we were talking about, girls and how we wanted to meet them a lot, and especially, that was a big, big thing. You said that a lot of times. You know why? We're Italian. Don't forget that. So, but, Yeah, it was, everything you said was great. I mean, I think with the other thing about the hydrants, we would also take boxes and put them over where the water goes down into the, so it would stop and it would be like a little, pool.
Oh, I see.
You
Yeah,
know?
sure. They did. But we did it later at night. I remember later at night, the older
That's
guys
right.
used to do it, and they waited until it got dark, and
Yeah.
all these things came out. And of
Yep.
course, people would love seeing it, and if you had a window that you could look at it, it was even more meaningful because you could see what was going on from your apartment. And
That's right.
I got it. The rates have gone through the roof now. I said 6,000 a month for my. Now it's about 7,000 a month for three small rentals in 7 Prince Street in Little Italy.
Really?
7,000 a month.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine? Because they added an elevator there years ago.
Oh,
And they combined 911 Prince Street to 7 Prince Street together. But could you imagine 7,000 a month? The rentals in the city are through the roof. Let me tell you,
oh. yeah.
John, it's just crazy, and people are paying it.
I think that think back, and my grandfather, mother and father owned 2 buildings on Elizabeth Street, across the street from the bakery, and the rents were $5 and $6 a month.
My God.
I mean, a long time ago, but you think about that.
We were paying $50 a month,
Yeah.
and that was a long-term thing, like forever. $50 a month, 3 small bedrooms, and of course, we discussed the shower. Okay, to take a shower was in the kitchen, and so that was the thing there. I don't know about you, John, but we had the shower in the kitchen, and it's funny, but because my father loved birds, and we had canaries most of my life, and the canaries, when he used to hear the shower, he used to sing. I'm telling you, they hear the shower. Of course, we had to be
Yeah.
careful because you had,
Yeah.
had to take turns, and you had to go back. If it was someone, a female, okay, going back and forth, we had to just go into our bedrooms and stay there until they came out, and it was not an easy thing to do. And and that was but in some of the places, my grandmother's building next door on 911 Prince Street, not my grandmother's, but some of the bathrooms were they were outside.
Outside, yes.
Yeah, I mean they were outside. So you could imagine, okay.
Sometimes they had them two apartments.
Right.
And in the middle was
Right.
the bathroom for
Right.
both of them. But you're talking about the summer and what we like to do and how we felt about it. Well, when I was about 12 or so, my parents they wanted to send they did. They sent me to Staten Island where my aunt and, well, as you know, my aunt and uncle.
Oh, of course.
passed
I remember visiting them.
Yes, and I hated it, absolutely hated it. But they figured, get into the, trees and whatever, and I just hated it. And why? You know why? Because everything that I loved was not there.
Right.
And my aunt and uncle, they were fine, but it wasn't. I'd be playing ball. I'd be going into the pool, Leroy Street, go to, Raven Hall.
Of course.
And I just hated it. I made such a,
It's a different world.
They finally took me. After about a week and a half, they took me back.
Oh, but you want to know something, John, that recalls the time we were about 12 years old, we went on that famous hike,
Oh yeah.
overnight hike. We're supposed to bring food and tents and all this stuff. Well, we're going to Staten Island, all right?
Yes.
And what happened was, there's about 12 guys, And we brought, but guess what happened? The weather was so bad, it was
Yeah.
pouring rain, we had no place to go, so you called your aunt.
Right.
And sure enough, she took us all in. And I got to tell you something, what an experience that was, because we all went in the basement, I
In the
believe.
basement,
In
yeah.
the basement, all of us didn't sleep all night. We had, but you know, a couple
Like
of
bunk
guys,
beds.
yeah, whatever it was. You know, we would. There was a couple of guys didn't want to go to sleep. There was one. In particular, Michael Areno, he kept us all up, you know, with all his jokes, etc. Nobody slept. But the next morning, we had. I remember we were hungry, and it was about lunchtime, and we had pasta with a nice Italian bread. We were in heaven. We were in heaven with all the food. It was just wonderful. The smell, the sauce. Oh, we were in heaven. We finally made it, but we never went on another hike again.
That was the last one.
That was the last of the Mohicans.
Right.
And it was coming down in buckets.
Oh, yeah.
You made the call, John.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. Staten Island was a different world.
It was a different
It was a
world.
different world to be in.
It took to go to a movie house. You had to take like 4 or 5 buses to get there. It was terrible. You couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
You couldn't even
You
go
know,
there. Which
But
reminds.
it was more the fact that all my friends were, back in Little Italy. That's where I wanted to be.
Oh, sure. I forgot also the places that we used to go. Okay, if you had a few bucks, okay, of course you went to the movies.
Right.
The Loews Commodore, the Jefferson, okay,
Right.
the Academy of Music, and you bring your little girlfriend there if you could. We were a little older than 15, maybe 16 years old, and you can go on the balcony and, of course, sneak in a kiss or two. I mean, that was our
Yes.
and that was it. I mean, and everybody every week had a different girlfriend. I remember. John
Well, not
John probably
everybody.
had the most girls I've ever seen. Oh, John had quite a few. In his time, I remember the girls he liked and the girls he saw. It was always once every other week when he was a young kid. Okay, what are we talking about? The age of 12, John?
Maybe.
Maybe 12.
Maybe.
I like the girl at 10 years old, okay? So it's a crazy story. So that's for another time, another place, to bring out that wonderful story.
That's
But,
right. You did.
yeah, I did. I'll tell the story.
tell
You want
the
me to tell the
story.
story? All right. We might as well go the whole route. There was a girl in our 5th grade class, all right? And she was a very pretty girl with bangs. Her name was Melinda, all right? I'll tell you her first name. And she was cute, well-dressed, and I took a liking to her. And I was one of the shortest kids in the class. Me and I think Tommy Contino and a few others. But the bottom line is, at the end, we had the end of the year. We used to have that for Christmas. Those, like we had the gathering of the music. We used to participate in we had, we have pictures of it, and we were all together. So there's a girl I liked her. I saw her. We were talking to her. In my imagination, at 10 years old, I was 10 years old, that I liked her. And I thought she liked me. She liked me. 10 years old, we didn't know anything. So when I decided, well, I think I talked to you about it. Well, John, there's another story with John. We'll finish up his famous story on the train and the baseball about a girl he liked that didn't last long. But it was another story. But this girl I liked. So you know what I did? I had my piggy bank. I opened my piggy bank. I broke it, whatever. I took $3, and I went to 14th Street. I don't know how I did it. This is 10 years old, and I bought an engagement ring, one of these bogus zircon rings. And I saw her, and we were chatting with her. I said, let's study whatever we used to do. And I met her, and I gave her the ring. And I said, I just want you to have it because I think you're a very nice girl. But bottom line is, I had to return. I got it back because she saw her father, who owned an establishment there, Cafe Roma. He said, no, you're a kid. You tell that boy, he's a nice boy, but give back the ring. So I got the ring, and I got my money back. Now the greatest story of this is, there's a great story here. Many, many years later, I'm with my wife. We're going to Hackensack, okay, in an Italian restaurant called Gemelli. It's a very popular restaurant. This happened about 5 years ago. So I'm sitting there, and we're sitting at a table. My wife didn't like the table; it's too noisy, so we moved our group to another table. So there was a person there and another guy, and I saw another group there, a guy and another guy talking, and we were talking about old memories. We went to the restaurants that we liked, so we mentioned Sevilla. So now that's a Spanish restaurant on Charles Street. Okay, wonderful Spanish food. So the guy overhears it. He overheard the whole conversation, and he said, "Oh, I like Sevilla. Oh, where are you from?" To one or to another, I was from Little Italy. Oh, Little Italy. I came from Little Italy. Oh, sure. What is your name? I said, "My name is Vinny La Barbera." He said, "Oh, my name is Carmine, whatever." And he said, "Oh, really? That last name? Wait a minute. Do you have a sister named Melinda?" He said, "Yes, that's my sister." I said, there's a great story here. This is 70 years ago. I liked her when she was 10 years old. Right. He said, "What?" He said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." I said, "Yes, she's a pug-nosed, well-dressed, bangs." He said, "She's still cute, she's tiny, she's about 5'1". He said, "Wait until I tell her." And I couldn't believe it. After 70 years of just talking away, and we befriended the next table, and the guy said, "Listen, you know what you're going to do? Okay, anytime you come to this restaurant, you just mention my name and you get a bottle of wine for free, okay, at any time, Pinot Noir." And the guy said, "Yes, don't worry. Of course, I've been to the restaurant. I didn't want to intrude." But he couldn't wait, and he told his sister that he probably, I don't know if she remembers this, okay, but this was the story that really was interesting, because after 70 years later, of course, they moved out of the neighborhood to Jersey probably by the 7th grade, John. Yeah. And that thing. Now, that was my story. Your story is interesting because, quite frankly, you were a girl that you liked, and she was 12 years old. And you went out with her, you dated her briefly, and there was a whole story about it. And John, we had conversation, and we were on the train now, and John is solemn. We're going to a ball game. And he said, "What happened?" He said, No, the girl, she sent me he went out with her a couple of months, 12 years old now. And he said, "You know something?" And I see a letter, a Dear John letter. This was Dear John, a real Dear John letter. And she said, "Thanks for paying attention to me, and we're going out, and we had a nice time, and thank you for everything, even though it wasn't very much." And he asked me, "What did you think of it?" We're a whole group of people. I said, "John, what could I say, John?" He couldn't believe that the girl, he was kind of like a good guy and always respectful, and he didn't know why the girl, after a couple of months, broke up with him or whatever, or they decided to part. So these are the things that we were all, everybody was in love when they were 10 years old and 11 years old and 12 years old. It goes to show you what our minds were set. But again, like John just said, we're Italian. And even though we're Italian Americans, we all think the same. We all were romantic type people, and it showed, because that was the thing. Love was a wonderful thing, and we proved it years and later. We never lost that idea of being who we were and how we acted, and being Italian American. We're very proud of that, and I think that's one of the reasons why people like to hear stories growing up in Little Italy and doing all the wonderful things that we did growing up at an early age. But that was an early age, John, and that was two great love stories, John.
I still wonder what I didn't do.
That's right. Well, you'll never know,
No
John.
idea.
You've never seen her before again, right?
No.
No. Why?
She moved out of after Elizabeth Street. I don't know where they went, but she
You
moved.
never heard of it, because usually you somehow you keep in touch with a lot of people that you grew up with,
Yeah.
and you had your parties, and you used to invite them little by little, and one by one they used to come.
Yes.
After
Right.
all these years
Yeah.
in Park Ridge, my God, that's so you didn't like. There was something about, we don't like to let go of that past.
That's right.
So important, John.
Yep.
It was important for all of us, but I got to tell you, those are two great love stories I want people to know.
Hardly.
At 10 years old and 12 years old, John.
Yeah, right.
And I'd like to know, where was that letter?
Yeah, well,
That
yeah.
famous letter, because it was a long letter, and you repeated it before the game and after the game.
God,
And you couldn't understand why this happened. Okay, but it was just one of the many stories, one of the million stories that went through our world. And
What was her name? Frances?
Francis, you wanted me to say her last
Go
name?
ahead. Yeah, it's all right.
Francis Marullo.
Right.
If you're here, if you're listening, John would love to hear from you.
Yeah, really.
Say hello. If you're on you never know what's going to happen. But
Oh,
that was her
God.
name, Francis Marullo.
Frances
And she was a very nice girl. Very,
Yeah,
very,
she was.
very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a great, two great stories. I think that basically we've run the whole, we've finished the world of our summers.
Summers, you're right.
All right, I think, and they were great, and there was so much more, and there was, there was place. Look, it was our world, and we loved every minute of it because we remembered it. And how do we remember it after all these years? Is because they were just so important to us growing up. And that's all I could say. Yes, John.
And then at the end of the summits, you then had the San Gennaro, then
Oh.
the ones on Elizabeth Street, the
San
one
Rocco.
on San Rocco, and that really was terrific then.
Then,
But
now, it's
no,
developed.
now forget
Now it's
it.
developed into.
But that was so nice when and it was right at the end of the summer.
It was right at the end
Yeah.
of the summer, in September. Yeah, that's it. But then
Yeah.
we had to go back to school, so we really cherished that summer that we
That's
were off,
right, yeah.
doing all the things we were doing, and I got to tell you something. It was an experience that we'll never forget. Obviously, because we're remembering it, and we're sharing it with so many people now.
Yes, and it's a good thing to keep, and those wonderful
Yeah, keepsakes
times.
forever. This is all keepsake stuff. you
Right.
know, and we have pictures to prove. There's photos that are showing up years later on the internet that people have, and that's even more mystique and interesting about our world, because they show a picture of us, at a young age, or who with, and people have having pictures. In fact, when we did, when Richie Ronaldo did the book, and we were all contributors, he has about 1,000 pictures that were sent to him about growing up, and that's another thing with the book. Okay, we'll talk about many stories of the book, which we have, and we all contributed to the book down the road. So I'm glad that we had this wonderful episode of, this is episode 5, and we're going to continue this until further notice, John. So
Absolutely.
it was always a great
Keep it
memory.
going.
Take care.
Take care, bud.
Till we meet again.
Yep.
But listen, Richie, thank you for, on a spiritual note, thank you for bringing up the encyclical, which is coming out. So you have already previewed it, Richie.
No, well, I mean, in general, I haven't read
In general, I meant in
it. It
general.
comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
gonna publish it tomorrow.
It's a startling, radically different kind of encyclical. He's addressing the world as opposed, not just Catholics. So it's a call to a common humanity. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be divisive as well, Richie. A lot of traditional Catholics are not going to like this at all.
And
Today is blessing the Lord.
John Buffer saying that with his vision there, with his picture, it should be Tutti Fratelli e Cani. Now, John, dogs have to be included in that.
Monsignor, today, 12 o'clock, it's the blessing of the dogs in St. Augustine's.
Oh, no kidding. Great.
Blessing of the dogs.
You're taking
Very
your
nice. Yeah. Is
See,
he,
huh?
why today? Let's see, what's today? Is today,
Today is a convenient day for the church.
I see, okay.
Monsignor, have you visited the rectory recently?
Not recently, I passed by it the other day when I had dinner at Louis Consalvo's. So I took a gander at the neighborhood. Not happy. It's hard to be in New York and really, be gleeful. It's a grim situation.
It is.
The lockdown has been severe.
Uh-huh.
You know, restaurants, bar, the whole nightlife thing. You know, so New York doesn't sparkle.
Are the streets crowded at all?
Neighborhood is suffering.
Yes, they are.
Yeah?
I
What was
was
the
in the
question?
city Thursday night for dinner and we were on 7th Avenue. It was packed.
Where were you, Joe, for dinner?
I went to Raphael's.
Oh,
that's
really?
Well, that's nice, Joe. Yeah.
That's one of John's all-time favorite
Yeah,
places.
Raphael's nice.
It is.
You know, I don't know if you know Maiello's in Long Island City. I recommend it. I know it's a little outside of the traditional
No, they have a great wine list there, Monsignor.
Maiello's, right in back of the Pepsi sign, the famous Pepsi sign on the other side of the river. It's a great restaurant, and they really outfitted it very well for, you know, COVID. In terms of they've got tents.
Monsignor, don't they have, Monsignor?
Yeah.
Isn't that the place with the tremendous wine list?
Yes.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want
they
to
got a
have like a
tremendous
great
menu in
Italian wine, and it probably costs you a fraction of what it would actually cost you in a retail store.
Yeah. It's great service. The food is excellent. The staff, the ambiance. It's really Maiello, Maello. It's a great place to go.
Joe, I want to, just curious, what did you eat at Raffaelli's the other night?
I had eggplant parmesan to start, and I had the chicken Milanese, which I like,
Wow.
and then some vegetables and some other stuff.
Joey Black is back.
Oh, yeah. Joe,
Oh, Black.
Joe, did you have it? Did you
Joe
have any
Black.
wine with your meal?
No,
Joe
No.
Black,
Yes.
tell them the story about Lincoln Center, the $300 bottle of wine that you didn't want to tip for. Tell them that story.
Uh-oh, we remember that one.
Go ahead, Joe.
no, that was like an embarrassing night.
Go ahead, go for it.
How long ago?
It was a stupid thing.
But
You
you
know,
did the right thing.
How long ago was it?
We did the right thing. You know, I forgot what kind. We bought a very expensive bottle of wine.
Told me
As it turned out.
$300.
I don't remember what it really cost.
What year did this occur in? Because $300 is more.
No, it was like in the probably late 90s.
Okay.
And what happened was, you know, let's say the meal was like, there were a couple of people there, maybe
The
6
meal
people.
was 600.
The meal was 600 and the wine was another 3.
600
So
for the
what we
wine.
did was we gave the server like a tip that wasn't 20% of the $900. So I said, I'm just going to give her like a 10% tip on the wine because, you know, the fact that we bought a $300 bottle of wine, $1 bottle of wine versus a $100 bottle of wine,
Right.
we ate in the Opera House. So there's no bargains there. Well, this bitch actually had the balls to bring the check back to us and say that the tip wasn't big enough.
Wow.
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 Okay. So what I did was I took off the 10% and I gave her only 20% of the 600. What a bitch she was, boy. And they
Wow.
did nothing for that. I mean, that was balls, just balls.
Hey, Joe, you know what the problem here is, Joe? That in Buffers, you told all these stories, and now John remembers every one of them.
Sit down. I
And he
wrote-
wants to hear them again.
All right,
And he
I'm
wants to hear
memorized
the
them-
best
everything
story
you've
about
ever
John
said.
Buffer, the one that everybody loves.
He memorized everything you've ever said.
Yes, he
the check
remembers.
was 600.
I don't think he remembers everything,
Oh, I think he's
but
pretty
he
darn
does,
close.
Vinny.
Yeah.
He does remember. the
Joe Black,
famous-
I
some of
was
the guys
looking for
haven't
that.
heard this.
I was looking for that nasty woman in that Belleville Tavern.
Yes,
I checked it out. There's nothing on the Belleville Tavern. It's called the Belmont Tavern. Belmont.
that's what I said. I said
Belmont.
it's in Belleville,
Belmont.
but it's the Belmont Tavern.
Yeah,
Belmont.
Belmont Tavern. I checked it out. They're only open at night,
Right,
and
and they only have takeout.
And they take out.
maybe just takeout. But I was reading some of the reviews. One of the reviews. Remember the review that you read about me in Yelp?
Yes, right. Yeah.
Well, she got about 10 of those.
She got John. She never gets a good review
I only
unless you
got
just
one of
talk
them.
about the food.
She got about 10.
What I like about that place is if you order a bottle of wine or something, she says, "What kind of wine do you want?" I said, "What, you know, well, what do you got?" She said, "I got a red and I got a white. What do you want?" That's the kind of wine list they have.
And then, hey, John, and then if you order red, she says hot or cold.
Is that right?
Hot or cold. So she says, I have two reds.
Yeah.
One red is $70 a bottle,
Yeah.
and the other one is 20. So if you order the expensive one, she'll tell you, no, that's $70 a bottle. You say, yeah, bring it. It's okay. So we had 6 guys. So she pours out the whole bottle, you know, for 6 glasses. I said, bring another bottle. She says, that's $78 a bottle. Okay, bring another bottle. Every time you order it, she has to tell you how much the wine is.
Hey, did you ever go to a place where they ask you if you would like to smell the bottle cap?
No. No, things changed a little bit. You know, I don't know if I ever told you this, John, about the place. The first time we went to the place that I went there, I was the last one to get there. We were 6 all together, and they won't sit us unless we're 6, the whole 6 of us came. So as soon as I walked in the door, the guy that was our, you know, the host with my crew said, okay, we're all here, we're ready to sit. So the way that they had this place set up is they had this guy that was like a half a gangster who ran the bar area. And he also was the seating guy in the place. He was about 70 years old. He turned around to a table that was, you could squeeze 6 in. And he said to the 4 people sitting at that table, he says, "Yous can't sit here anymore." And he picked
Yous.
up the dish from one of the guys that was eating. And he actually moved everything to a table for 4 people that was a squeeze. And then we squeezed into the table that, you know, barely held the 6.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So the food had to be outstanding because the ambiance of the place was, you couldn't get any lower. It was impossible. The
They have a
place
great
was,
box.
I don't think, have you ever been there, John?
Me, yeah, many times.
Oh. But the food is very, very good.
It is.
So Black,
Especially,
they just shut down Jersey again. The
Oh,
indoor
really?
dining was canceled again.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the indoor dining was canceled in Jersey. Yesterday it started.
Oh,
Pressing. Hey, Richard, what'd
Well,
you do
you know what?
for?
They keep testing. The more they test, the more they'll find people that have COVID.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I want to ask Richie what he did for your post-nuptial celebration. Did you go out for dinner? What'd you do?
We had dinner.
Okay.
It was a pretty nice restaurant.
yeah,
Ralph really enjoyed the food. I know.
yeah.
He was so nervous about the whole thing because he was holding the ring.
The rings.
And it was, you know, one of those rings that you have to put them together, the engagement ring and the wedding ring, and he
You got married?
all mixed up. So he
Yeah, John, you missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
You
last
missed
time.
it, John. You missed it.
1 week and you got married?
That's classic.
Richie's
You got
married.
That's
1 week.
classic.
So
You get married. What happened? Richie, is she pregnant? I'm married.
Funny. Oh, this is
Not
funny.
yet. Not yet.
yeah, Ralph,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Good.
So
Wow.
I have a quick story about the wine too. I was in Sorrento, Italy, and I went to a nice restaurant. They put us upstairs on a small table. So I asked the waiter if they would get us downstairs and a bigger table. So he checked with the owner, and they brought us downstairs, and we sat at that table. On the left of us was an American couple, so we kind of like talking to them. And then on the right of us was a British couple. And so the 3 tables were all talking. In the time, unbeknownst to us, some people came in that had a reservation, and we're talking and talking and talking, and you could almost feel the daggers then, you know. And finally, the owner came over. He says, "You know, the people are waiting. I
Get
noticed."
the hell out of here.
So we left. You know, they were giving us bad looks, but it was good food. Too. had interesting conversation. So anyway,
Yeah, John, that's it. Everybody congratulates you, Richie.
thank you. Thank you. We're celebrating our first week
Now
today.
you know, Buffer. You know.
Ah, yes.
When you're 79 years old and you're getting married, you have to advance the celebrations of your anniversaries.
every 4 to 6 months.
Every month. So anyway,
Oh, shit.
You know, you're talking about wine.
I'm thinking of applying to the CIA for a job.
Seriously?
Why?
It seems like interesting work. I'm not talking about 007 type.
Oh,
Just, you
What,
know,
as a consultant?
yeah, maybe as a consultant or something.
I think you should go for 007, Rich, you know? And
Go all the way.
you know,
If you're gonna do it, go all the way.
I actually am a member of the OSS Society, as being the predecessor of the CIA.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Monsignor a question. Monsignor,
Yeah.
how are your taste buds these days?
I actually, they're coming back. You know that. So my visit to my ales last week was satisfactory because I could taste things. So I
Oh,
think
good.
I think I'm 90% back, frankly. Yeah.
So how long did it take
Oh gosh. Listen, in April I had no taste.
Wow.
That's how I knew, you know, that's what brought me to get tested, frankly. So
What about
I
this-
coughed my way. I had like 2 months of coughing, you know, but no other symptoms, including.
What about the smell?
Yeah, that alarmed me, actually. You know, the fact that you can't smell, you don't think that.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, even something like gas or, you know, garbage, you know, or urine smell, all that kind of stuff, you can't tell. And those are important alarms for
It's
your.
alarming, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm good 90, almost. I'm back, I think.
Oh, good to hear.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the point of why do farts smell? And
That was quite
answer
a
is-
free association. That was a
The
good.
answer, the answer is
Yeah.
so the deaf can appreciate them.
Oh, okay. Good.
Very good, Jerry.
Jerry's,
Oh, God.
I'm glad, Jerry, that you're on today. That's a wonderful thing you just said.
Yes. I have to write that down. I have to remember that for a sermon.
Oh.
That would be good. That would be a good.
Let's see.
Make
Good
sure it's on the
opening.
mount.
Oh, God.
Oh Lord, you guys are too much.
Red, why don't you tell everybody what you found out about Jug?
Well, Rich,
Yeah, find out, what did you find out about Jug when you asked your fellow in your area?
Richie, for all the people that went to Hayes, I mean, I've been Jug so many times at Cardinal Hayes from Father Jablonski. I never knew what Jug was until Richie sent around a nice little email. And the acronym Jug, J-U-G, is Judgment Under God.
Right.
And I
Right.
never knew that. And I
Never
sent
knew.
it to a couple
Right.
of people out here in Jersey that went to Cardinal Hayes, and they didn't have a clue.
I remember I was in the minor seminary at Cathedral right after high school, and that I was introduced to the word jug. Was that a Catholic school word, or did public school kids?
Yeah.
It actually came from
You know why
military
everybody
school.
knew what it meant? Because the teachers didn't probably know what it meant.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, having gone to Xavier and that, you know, being a military school, Jug was very prevalent, and we actually would have guards with rifles watching watching the people in Jug. Well, it was other kids, you know, other students
Uh-huh.
would be on guard duty to watch the people in Jug. We had
But they
to-
had real rifles? Were they really rifles?
Oh, yeah, there were real rifles, but they weren't loaded. They weren't,
Loaded, no.
they didn't have any,
Okay.
any bullets in them.
Okay.
Because we had to take junior ROTC there. They like, we had a first lieutenant who, from the Army who was there and handled ROTC. It was a course that we had to take for 4 years. And Jug was, was a big thing. I had Jug an awful lot, not because of anything except my hair, because I refused to cut it, and everybody
Yeah.
had kind of like buzz cuts there, and I would have none of that. So mine used to get a little longer, go to Jug. That was it. But that's what it really was.
But did you ever know what it meant? You probably didn't know either what it meant, did
No,
you?
no, we did. Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah, we did. That was the, part of the whole ROTC.
So John, when you got Jug, what did happen in Jug?
We marched back in.
That's it?
Yeah, you marched.
You know,
back-
at Regis, John, when we had Jug, we had to go to the assistant principal's office and he would give us maybe 5 pages of poetry to memorize.
My.
And we were not allowed to leave until we memorized 5 pages or 4
wow.
pages.
coffee done.
So
Wow.
years later.
Told you John would take
somebody-
care of it. I just
Somebody
don't-
met me and the subject of Regis came up and they said, we got this guy that went to Regis and this guy, he's very smart. He recites all these poems. And I said, that guy was almost a criminal. I explained, like, he got educated the hard way.
We didn't have any of that. We would march. That was it. You marched for an hour, usually.
That's what they did.
Well-
They did in the service academies, or at least at West Point, I know that's what they do.
You know who was permanently almost in Jug was Georgie Catalano. He was there constantly.